Hey everybody, it's Andrew. Uh, Welcome back. I'm going to be doing the tattoo collector's tag today. This is going to be my first video where I'm talking right to you guys. So bear with me if I'm super awkward or... Yeah, let's just get right into it. This is a tag started by Quickened. You can follow her social media with a link in the description, and I'll post all the text for these questions down in the bottom. The first question, I'm just looking over at my computer, is do you consider yourself a tattoo collector? I would say that I do, and I haven't always. The second question is, do you have a specific tattoo that turned you into a tattoo collector? And that is when you knew you wanted to collect from multiple artists. So my story for my whole life story, no, it's not so dramatic, but I didn't start collecting tattoos. I just went to a walk-in shop, and I knew I wanted a sleeve that went onto my hand. So I started with a forearm and a wrist and a hand outline, and it was all a cohesive piece. And then I built on to my elbow and to all the way up to my shoulder. And that one's still not totally finished. It's got like 4 hours for originally the hand, wrist, and forearm outline, and then another 2 hours for the elbow, and I think it was like 3 hours for the outline on my bicep to my shoulder, and then 4 hours of blue color. So it's still not finished. And I started that in Burlington, Vermont with one artist, Joe, at Body Art, and then Johnny Pagoda, who used to and still might tattoo at Event Horizon. And I thought it was cool that they were or still are ski buddies, and I wouldn't recommend doing what I did. I'm smart enough to look for artists online because it's a lot easier. Being that I'm 24, I've just learned a lot, and just do it the right way. It's worth it because you'll have the art forever. So immediately, once I started getting tattooed by Johnny as well, he did like a weirder kind of graffiti style Chaos Star mix on my elbow, and that made me like branch out from just getting tattooed from one person. I was in a really interesting period of my life where I remember on November 16th, 2013, there was like a very traumatic event that happened, and that's why I wanted a Chaos Star. Because to me, it means I feel like sometimes I'm being pulled in all the directions, and just generally, chaos, part of our universe. Moving on, I guess the past 2 years, I knew I wanted art from some of the other artists in Burlington and just all over the world. The first artist that I went to seek out was Hillary Blair for a blackwork piece. And when I went across the country, I knew I wanted to collect smaller, or just like start piecing together maybe even different styles. Because beforehand I've always gotten different kinds of styles, but I've been attracted to the traditional Japanese Oryoshi pieces. And the thing about getting traditional Japanese work in a country that's not Eastern is I feel like, since I'm not Asian at all, just my influences in media and tattoos, just visual art, I have an appreciation for it, but I haven't lived in the culture. So I feel good about getting it from someone who's also like an American or someone who's not a traditional like stick and poke artist, and it's also just more attainable. I'm waking up my computer here. The third question is, what tattoo did you have to travel the farthest for? Where did you go? That's an interesting question because I didn't end up traveling for the tattoo, but the farthest away from home was Portland, Oregon, and I was there and I knew I was living in my car for a week, basically, and I felt like I really felt at home here for the first time since crossing the Midwest. Like, I went to national parks and stuff, but the people in the cities just felt way cooler in Oregon. So I wanted to get a piece. I was looking at Instagram, and Sarah Carr had just posted her scorpion that she did on her own leg. And I was like, damn, I really love her style. And she's a first-year tattooer, so like maybe I'll be able to afford something and like really help this person out start their career. And I had an idea. It's on my right leg. It's fairly big and it took 2 sessions. It's a traditional girl with a machete and she's got like sticks in her hair and she's just like an explorer who's feeling lost was the idea. And that's how I felt in my own way after graduating and just like going on the road. The next question is, where was the closest? The closest was in Burlington. It was probably like a few blocks, like literally downtown. That's where Hillary worked. What tattoo artist has tattooed you the most? So I got, like I said, I had a really hard time with the traumatic experience. It was like a catalyst, I suppose, for like tipping over the edge and spiraling into depression that had been building for a while. The events that made me like get sad, I guess, would be when my parents decided to sell the house and move to Jersey, when my 13-year-old cat died, when my friend Leah, who's our age, or the same age, she died of cancer, which affected me. And, well, it affected all of us, and I wasn't as close to her, but in a positive note, she is someone who's like just super brave in my heart. That's what she reminds me of. But I ended up getting a lot of tattoos from Brant Newton at Event Horizon, which is also in Burlington. He's tattooed me the most. I'd say that I rushed it. The most important thing, I think, is to talk with your artist and bring them things that you like and look at the work that they do. It's a lot easier with Instagram. Like, you could literally just give someone you respect, someone whose work you love and can do no wrong to you, just give them an idea or a couple ideas and be like, here's my budget. I'll be in town for this amount of time. That's what I would do. And also tell them like the body placement. But I'm not totally happy with where the tattoos fall on my body and the sizing, and just like, I think they were just rushed in general. And Brant's not like a super famous guy, but I kept going back to him because I thought he was a cool person and I needed that at the time, I guess. It's sad to say, but I think I wanted something beautiful and I didn't feel worth anything. I'm kind of putting this all out there, but that's okay. I haven't been ready to put myself out to the internet, but now I am. I expect a lot of like negative comments and bullying, but I felt like I was worth less than a turkey sandwich at some points in my life, which sounds stupid, but like when you eat meat, you're killing an animal, and when you wanted to kill yourself for a long time, it's hard to justify. And it took a long time for me to become a mostly vegan person, because it takes learning. But it's the lifestyle I've chosen, which makes me the most happy. Okay, so next question. Hopefully it gets a little less dark. Question number 6. Who's an artist you dream of getting tattooed by? So there's a couple. I'll name 2 of them. One is William Yonayama, and I believe he works in Australia. And the other one is, he goes by Recco, and I think he tattoos in Italy or just Europe. I think he travels. And I'll insert a clip. Just like right now, you'll be seeing some of their work. Question number 7. Name 2 tattoos that took the most sessions to complete. So that's definitely my arm because it's not totally completed. And I started it when I was 19. So, and question number 8. Which tattoo took the longest to heal? Oh, that's the same one. Oh, yeah. Which tattoo took the longest to heal or become completed? That's maybe slightly different. But I guess that would be the one on my right leg. I got it in San Diego when I was learning to surf, and I was living in a car at the time, and it was right before I left. I went to get just a little piece of flash, and yeah, I like it a lot, but I had to keep it out of the sun, which I didn't totally do. And when I did do it, I was like wearing pants, and I don't know. That one took the longest to heal, and it was on like my knee area, like the side of my knee. So next question number 9. Do you have any tattoo artists that have become your friend through tattooing? This is probably I mean, some of my friends I've gotten tattooed with, but I'd say no, other than just getting to know the artist better. I recently started getting tattooed by someone, a Vermonter, but he's currently in Portland, and that's kind of cool. He's a really, I was gonna say legitimate, but he's like, his name is Eli Wood, by the way. Eli's really cool to me because he's well-spoken and he's grounded in his beliefs and priorities. And he puts the time in to get what he wants, and he learns from people's behavior. So I guess all in all, I respect him for being sharp. I wouldn't say he's my friend, but I like talking to him. And also I think Brant's real cool, even if I didn't get the best work from him. Question number 10. Do you post pictures of your tattoos? So recently I've been following, I guess the past 3 or 4 years, I've been following Quicken's channel, and she's had one of her tattoos stolen right off her skin. And I don't really want that to happen to me, so I don't post pictures. With the exception of this video, I'll post anything that's done being any completed work I feel fine about. So if I don't insert a picture or clip, that's why. Question number 11. How do you react when someone asks to see your tattoos? Like I said, I got one right on my hand, and I've had someone yank my arm. just like, hey, let me see that. And it was a coworker who was much older than me and would wear their like black work, kind of like old 90s leave-ish kind of thing, to work. Like, so I didn't mind so much, and he was like a coworker, but I was the lowest on the totem pole, so like I felt weird because I was just super polite about it, but I haven't been in any terrible situations, probably because I'm a guy. I feel like people, oh, pardon me, I feel like people would just leave me alone more than a girl, which is kind of sad to say. Okay, yeah, so, and the other people are like my close friends, so I'll totally like get naked if they ask me to. I'm pretty comfortable with my body, and I haven't always been, so that's another thing that I really like about tattoos. I feel like in some ways it's like pieces of your soul that's already visible, and it's also like a constant reminder, or it can be, of like other people. For me, I get tattoos that remind me of other people or certain moments in life, and I feel like everyone can relate to that if they've got a collection. I think that's all the questions. Is it? No, it's not all the questions. Question 12, when will your collection be finished? You know, the way things are going, I've had a lot of unfinished work for a while, and I intend to finish them, and I have gotten around to finishing some, but you never know when you're gonna go, so just enjoy life. And I mean, I'm not looking to get any of this area, none of that. I don't want the back of my neck tattooed. I don't want my palms. Yeah, I don't know. And then the last question, who do you tag? Question 13. I tag anyone who is an artist, I suppose. I didn't want to say artist because it's kind of pretentious, but yeah, I make art. It's like not always the best drawings, but I look at art every day and I'm inspired by artists and creators, and I primarily stick to photography and drawing. But some of my best friends make music and stuff as well. So I'm gonna tag, anyone who wants to make this, and I'll throw some of their social media in the description.